All right, so
Hey,
it looks
everybody.
like we are live. Welcome, everybody. Show Me the Money Club. We are here with Pedro DoorDash Santiago. It's Santiago
What's up?
send you for anybody who knows that reference.
He did not. You gentlemen sent me.
All right, yeah, we're gonna be. We got a pretty good packed show today. Quite a few different things going on. It's 4th of July weekend coming up, so we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about Boost Plus. We're gonna be talking about where the Uber's losing money. Obviously, the big thing, Pedro's coming on. We're gonna be talking about the gig conference. We're gonna be talking about Rideshare versus food delivery, where things are going, what he's seeing when it comes to the food delivery. Because both Sergio and I are mostly Rideshare. Every once in a while, there might be something else. Although I do also do Spark. So Spark is just basically for me delivery. So that's easy because it's just pick up, drop off, good to go. We're going to be talking about some driver safety because there's been a lot of things that have been happening lately. We're going to be starting though with our dash cam giveaway. And my God, we had some really, really close when it came to the first and second winner. It was what, 0.11% difference.
Yeah, some ridiculous decimal, bro. I mean, yep. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
All right,
so
we're gonna start off with that, and then we're gonna get right into Pedro. So thank you, Pedro, first for coming on, hanging out, having a good time. Welcome everybody watching already. Anybody on the replay? Again, live Tuesdays. We do this 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Tuesdays. We will not be live next week just because of the 5th and the 4th of July and everything going on. But we're going to go right into the 12th back, and that's going to be a big one because we're going to be doing our town hall. So let's start with talking about the town hall.
All
so
right.
For those who don't know, if you want to actually talk about this, Sergio, real quick.
Sure. So, when we first started the Show Me the Money Club, I wanted actually to do this more than anything. But the first 8 weeks, we kind of winged it, not knowing if it's going to continue. But the reception has been so good that we're going to continue for a while doing these live streams. So I thought, okay, well, it's time for a town hall. Because, honestly, I've been an Uber and Lyft on the platforms for 6 years, going to 7. I don't think I've ever been in one. I would have said my piece, or I've actually applied a few times on the Drivers Advisory Council or Uber Crew, this new thing that they have going. They don't pick me. I don't know why. Why? I mean, I'm a nice dude. What's the big deal? Just put me in there. Let's create some havoc, for God's sakes. Anyway, so, but since they're not doing it, we're going to do it, right? So we're looking for, the first one is going to be July 12th, large city market. So we're looking for New York drivers. I saw one on the comments. Please email me. So we're looking New York, San Francisco, LA, Boston, let's go DC, Atlanta, any of these Uber's major markets, right? So first one on the 12th is going to be on that. And on the 19th, the following week, we're going to do one for the small markets for the fact that I get a whole bunch of pushback and hate mail saying, yeah, you don't know shit because you drive in LA, you're lucky, you're this, you're that, you make $40 an hour. I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't know. That's where I'm at. It's not my fault I'm in LA. So we want to hear from the small markets. Let's say, Eugene, Oregon, San Antonio, some couple of cities, maybe in Colorado, South Carolina, smaller cities where people literally may have to drive like 15 minutes or 10 miles to pick somebody up, which we don't have that problem in LA. And how their earnings are looking, what the current situation is, what the future looks like. So the big cities is July 12th, small city July 19th. We're looking for drivers. My email is right at the bottom of the screenshot right there. Please email me. We want to have these on with as many drivers as possible. Actually, up to 10 we can have, but we're trying to do it with 5 to 8. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your frustrations. Let's talk about your victories. Let's talk about where the gig economy is, where it's going. And, we will even have beers. I'm actually going to have beers on the town hall. No, I asked Terry. He says, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. I'm like, hey, just pop up with a few beers.
One thing, too, to note, that's big here is you don't have to be on camera. I know some people are camera shy. It's not something you have to be on camera. We prefer that just so we can, 90% of, communication is through nonverbal. So we do prefer people to be on, but you don't have to. So if you want to get on, you want to talk, vent, if you want to, share or critique, whatever it might be. Again, you don't have to be on camera. So if you're worried about anything, backlash or whatever it might be, you don't have to be on camera. And then again, though, we do prefer it.
Yep, we do. But if you don't want to, I fully understand. Although, look, Uber knows everything about you, or Lyft. I mean, what's the big deal? They see your face. They have your face. They take your picture every other day and a half. Oh, verify if it's you or not. I mean, honestly, I don't think it makes any difference. If anybody was going to get deactivated, it would be myself sitting right here after all the shit I talked to him. So I'm like, hey, no big deal, bro. It's like, but I really, really want to do this. Okay, and maybe every couple of months do it, get the flavor of the country, as opposed to sitting in LA and bullshitting $40-$50 an hour. It's not bullshit. I'm making the money, but what are you guys doing out there, right? So that's the important thing. So there you go.
All right. So yeah, anybody who's interested, please email Sergio. Let him know your market and any other pertinent information, like what apps you're on, things like that. So that is that. Now let's go to the giveaway that we just had, that we announced for last week. And this was crazy. So what basically it was, just to recap, June 13th through the 20th, basically was the earnings to tip ratio. So what your percentage of tips was for your earnings. So the best percentage won, and some amazing drivers out there for sure. The first and second place was only 0.11% difference. We're going to show you the breakdown in just a little bit, but yeah. So you guys are getting some good tips out there. That is awesome. The winner is announced going to be, the winner is going to be emailed after the show. If you are watching currently right now, you can email Sergio. We know who it is. So anybody else who thinks that they're going to get slick, sorry, we already have the email address of the person who won. So yes, you have 24 hours though to claim your prize, so we can ship it to you. We just need basically your address and saying yes, you want it. And then if you don't claim within 24 hours of right now, and that is 6:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:09 p.m. Pacific. If you don't, exactly. If you don't in 24 hours from today at this exact moment, get back to us. We are going to void your win, and we are going to give the second place winner the same opportunity for that 24 hours until somebody does claim it.
No soup for you.
Yeah, exactly. No soup for you. Now,
but wait a minute. I had to go to the decimals to figure out who the winner was, because initially I had just the percentage, right? So three people hit the round number. I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. So then I go one decimal, another decimal. I go, okay, we got a winner. So I'm like,
yes. So that was awesome. So good job, everybody out there who submitted. And also, we are going to announce another next base dash cam giveaway. We have one more to give away. So we have that, which is going to be a pretty cool little thing, especially for what's coming up. So drum roll, please, I guess. No, we'll just go right to it. So right here, as you can see, this is the full breakdown. So Andy N is our winner. Congratulations, Andy, for winning. You had 29.94 percentage when it came from tip to earnings ratio, which is awesome. So
that's
congratulations.
Crazy for rideshare. Let me tell you, people.
It is high.
If mine hits 10%, I'm like, yeah, it's good week. This guy, 30%. I'm like, I don't know what the heck you're doing, bro. I hope you're not giving foot massages and shit like that. But this is crazy. Okay, let me tell you, 30%. Holy crap! And the guy drives, by the way. I mean, there's no bullshit. He probably did like 60, 70 rides that week. So I'm like, congrats.
And then right underneath it, Roxy had 29.83%. So that's our second place. Third place is 28.35, 28.12. So you see, it's all real close to each other, which is awesome. So congratulations, Andy, on winning.
Oh, yeah.
Again, email is going to be sent to you after the show, unless you're watching now. If you are, then email Sergio right now. Again, 24 hours. And then we have another giveaway, like I said. We're going to do that at the end of the show. So it's going to keep you guys watching. But yeah, that's basically, we got something fun coming for you guys after that. But with that out of the way, let's get into having our guest on. Pedro, welcome.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, Pedro?
All right.
So that was, I got to say that dash cam giveaway is cool, but man, 29% when I go back to my ride share, I was probably maybe 20, 2 out of 10. Some days you get, good tips. And then there are days you do 10, 11 rides and you get nobody that tips you, but you can still make good money. But yeah, that's a great percentage.
Okay, Bear Claws, hold on 1 second. There's a conspiracy going on now. Did you verify that it was from Rides? Bro, the guy did send me his weekly screenshot, $680 on, I think, 70-some trips. It wasn't one long trip with one big tip. So trust me, verified.
Yeah. Well, because it was done because it was earning screenshots that were sent.
Yeah.
So the only requirement was to have an earning screenshot showing your tip percentage, what you earned versus tips. So even if you did one ride,
but hold on 1 second. So the next one we have to be more careful with the way we're selecting. Right? We
have the next one. We already have that. So
this was like, I don't know. Yeah. So let's get to Pedro, man. Pedro, honestly, I watch every single one of your videos. Pretty much.
Wow.
Really, I do. Yeah, because I think you're street level, just like, I try to drive and do my articles and do whatever I'm doing, because until you do it, you can talk all the bullshit on the planet. It's not going to fly. Not in my face anyway. I'm a 6-year veteran. I know you're, less than that. Yeah. And today's video especially was like really, really, really well done. Just for the fact that you said all the apps are the same. They're looking out for themselves. We have to look out for ourselves and stop bitching and moaning. Get out there and go get the money. If it's there, show me the money. If it's not there, don't do it. So let's talk to us a little bit about that video and why I consider you as real driver out there that talks it the way it is, like no bullshit, right? Call it the way you see it. I mean, there's no harm in that. So go for it.
Yeah, appreciate that, Sergio, because I got a lot of videos, man. I make it's ridiculous, right? So, but yeah, I think for me, I am street level, man. I'm still doing, January 2022, I started doing this full time, right? I started my first rideshare February 2021, but so it's been about a year and a half full time, and I'm out here. I'm still doing 4.5 days a week right now, making content, but so I get it. I've done rideshare, I've done food delivery, I do 3 apps right now, and for me, I used to get really emotional or mad at the apps. Like, wow, why am I seeing $2? Why did I get a contract violation? They said I didn't deliver food, but I did. Why is this rideshare? Why is Uber telling me I got to accept more trips just to see full upfront information? Like, you get mad because it's ridiculous, right? But once I, maybe 6 months ago, I started thinking, you know what? I need to just control what I can control and not get as worried about it because I have a plan, right? And I preach on my channel. Some don't like it, but it is what it is, right? Because it works for me. And you have to use these apps as a stepping stone to something else. And that's personal for everybody. Your stepping stone's different. Your plans are different. How much you work's different. Whether you're full-time, you're part-time, it's all a personal decision, right? Somebody might make $100 a day and that's fantastic. Other people, they make $100. They're like, oh my God, it's the worst day ever, right? So it's all personal, right? But for me, once I stopped caring quite as much, I've actually been able to focus on the real important things that I got going on that I really want to do and still use the apps because I still think, they're a fantastic way to make money. For some of us, it's full-time. Depending on your market, it can be sustainable. For others, it could be part-time to pay off debt, to pay off a bill, to do this, to do that, to pay off a trip, whatever it is. It's a personal choice, right? But for me, once I stopped caring as much, I still care, but not as much and figured, you know what, I got to control what I can control. It's kind of been a game changer for me and just my balance. And I'm still making good money now. Even if it's slow, I can still make good money. You gotta go find, what I say is you got to find what people are willing to pay you to do in your market. And in some markets, maybe for Sergio in his market, it's clearly rideshare. He can do great with rideshare. But in my market, it might not be that. It might be Instacart. It might be DoorDash one day, Uber one day. Follow the money, show me the money, whatever you want to say it. But you can control. I think we as drivers and independent contractors can control a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. So that video was kind of about that.
Yeah. So one quick question. 2 questions. You said independent contractor, right? Do you really believe we're independent contractors? 1. And 2, you said, go out and make $100 a day. We had this conversation previously. And a lot of drivers, right, go out with the dollar in mind. Like, I have a goal of $100, and the apps actually push that towards that, goal anyway. Even on the Lyft app, you can set like your weekly goal, daily goal. Did you hit it? So a lot of drivers go out there without thinking of profitability, which I do only. That's the only thing I think about. I don't care about the passenger waiting in the cold or whatever. I'm trying to make the most amount in the least amount of time. I said this a million times. I don't care if it's Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, whatever it is. But most drivers go out with that dollar in mind, like $100, whatever it takes me, I have to make that to pay this bill, to do this. So first, do you really think we're true ICs, or we're being handled like ICs? And secondly, do you go out with dollar in mind, or do you just go out trying to make the most in the least amount of time?
Good question. I'll answer the second one first. I used to go out and say $200. That was my goal, right? Okay. Lately, it's changed because I'm not out as much. I don't give as much time per day to the gig apps as I used to. But before, I could, like, without even breaking a sweat, make $200 easy, right? Yeah. Not a problem. 6 to 7 hours in my market, $200, boom. And I used to give myself that monetary amount because what I also knew was, okay, to make that 200, I knew about how many hours, about how much time I was going to give, but then my mileage, because my mileage equals my profitability, because that's an expense for gas, right? So I knew, like, okay, if I want to make 200, I want to drive about 90 miles, maybe 100 miles. You know, it would vary. Some days I can do it and only drive 70 miles. So yeah, profitability is more important than the end game, because you could actually have a day where you're making 200, but if you're not as profitable and smart about it, it's actually better to maybe make $150 in less time, less miles, because the numbers could be about the same as far as profitability. But I used to do 200. Right now, that's a little bit less, only because I'm focusing on some other things and figuring out other ways to make money. But to answer your first question, I don't know. I'm not as smart and up to date with the IC, or are we misclassified subcontractors? I've talked about this. So, you know, from a tax standpoint, you know, the government looks at us as 1099 independent contractors, right? But I think we're somewhere in the middle. I think the pandemic really skyrocketed more people shifting to this type of work. And the companies took advantage of that because they realized there was a workforce that they could have push their product out and deliver things to their customers without having to really pay benefits and pay this and pay that and the labor costs and all that. So it's weird. Sometimes I don't know what we are. I say independent contractor because that's what we all throw around mostly. And that's what we classify ourselves. But I think it's this mix of something really strange right now. And I think that's why we see a lot of states, whether it's California, Pennsylvania, legislation coming in Illinois, or other places where they're trying to push this new way of what we're called and how we're taxed or not taxed and what benefits we get. So it's strange. You know, I call myself independent contractor because my mentality is I'm independent and I can take what I want. I can unassign if I want. I could, if somebody shows up and I'm doing a ride share and they got a baby and they don't have a car seat, I could cancel it. So I feel a lot of power with that. So I feel there's independency there, but there's a lot of other things that happen behind the scenes that tells me that we're not independent contractors, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes quite a bit of sense. I mean, I think, you know, independent contractor, I think we're misclassified when it comes to rideshare anyway. I mean, you know, not knowing the destination, not knowing the job, not knowing what you're truly going to get paid, not being able to raise prices because of gas or whatever you want to call it. I think it, to me, in my mind, makes it pretty clear, but you made a good point about why you think you consider yourself an IC. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. What's up next, Chris?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to just share your story a little bit, you said you started with rideshare, you went to food delivery mostly because in your market, that's what you noticed was going on, where you're chasing the money towards, showing the money in that. So what would you say that you're seeing currently when it comes to, I know you talked about it on this channel, you're talking about on yours, what you're seeing currently though, where you think it's going to go, especially with, you know, an ongoing economic situation. A lot of people are calling it recession, could be already in it, but nobody wants to admit it. So if that's the case, what do you see happening for food delivery? What do you see happening for the gig economy? And then also, if there was no economic issues, do you still see the same outlook when it comes to just the future of the gig economy, food delivery, last mile, you know, shopping, all that good stuff?
Yeah. I mean, that's the $1 million question, right? I think we all want to know it because we're in it, right? And we worry sometimes about what's the future hold for us, and it's not guarantees. And so for me, you know, I started with rideshare because I was a rideshare passenger and I loved Uber. I loved the efficiency, the quickness. It didn't cost a lot sometimes to get to certain places. And now it costs more, obviously. But, you know, so I saw, okay, well, I got to pay some bills and a trip I want to pay for, so let me get into rideshare. And I loved it. I'm a people person. I love meeting new people. The best thing about Uber rideshare, minus the money, is the connections you can make. You meet a lot of fantastic people from all over the world. Love that, right? But I shifted to food delivery because, the pandemic was happening. Not as many people were going to work or traveling. So I made most of my money in my St. Louis market, airport runs, taking people to work, picking them up from work. So when the pandemic was going down, that people weren't going out as much. So the money wasn't there, but the food delivery was clearly because people were at home, right? So I shifted to food delivery in my market and realized, wow, the money's really good, right? And I went back to rideshare here and there. I'd pop it on if it was a great promo, but mostly right now in my market, I do the food delivery apps because it's just, it's less miles for me, right? Because sometimes with the Uber, it takes you all over the place and you could be 45 minutes out away from your home and maybe you get a trip back, maybe you don't. So there's more gambling involved in my market with rideshare because it's going to take you everywhere and the mileage could be high. So for me, my profitability was in lower. So yeah, I can make $200 with rideshare, but the profits aren't there because I'm probably driving 50 more miles to make that 200. So that's actually costing me money. But then also, the rideshare, Sergio, and you guys know, right? It's a little more dangerous, more liabilities, more things can happen. You got people in your car versus a McDonald's bag. Things can go sideways. I've been put in some crazy situations where they could have went sideways real quick. You're picking up drunk people, middle of the night. So there's more, you just have to worry about more. And for me, it was like, hey, right, the delivery is a little easier, right? The worst thing that can happen is you get a grumpy customer or you got to wait long for food. The worst thing that could possibly happen with rideshare is more dangerous, right? Yeah. So for me, that's why I kind of shifted my focus to where I was trying to make my money. I think the future, with all this automation and things like that, that's already affecting some markets for rideshare and food delivery. I think we're still really far away from a lot of things being able to be delivered or people being picked up where like our jobs are taken. I think we're still really far away from that, in my opinion. So I'm not worried necessarily about that. But I feel like with rideshare, people in my market at least are still doing things. So it's always market dependent, but they're still doing stuff. Like I know right now, if I turn my rideshare on, I'd get a ping. It'd probably take me 30 seconds, right? If it's good, is it bad? I don't know. But the demand is still there. But the food delivery, I've definitely seen in the last month with inflation and other things and the summer slowdown. And, that's common. The deliveries aren't there as much. The rideshare opportunities are, though, because I do turn it on every once in a while. And as soon as I turn it on, it is almost instant, right?
Yeah.
So I think the future for rideshare can still be pretty strong, market dependent, because I think people still need to get places. And sometimes some people, they might have a car because gas is the way it is or traffic. They don't even want to drive their own vehicle. So they say, I'll just spend $20 on a rideshare, which who knows if that's smart, but some people do that as well. So for me, I think we can still make money in this gig economy, whether it's rideshare or delivery, but you really have to be smart. I think most drivers that get into this don't crunch their numbers enough. I think they're just driving to drive. Oh, I made $200 a day. But they're not realizing you didn't pay taxes. You didn't, what's your fuel cost?
Yeah, you didn't make 200.
Exactly. You didn't make 200, right? So we get caught up in that number, right, Sergio and Chris? But, I think a majority of drivers actually don't really, they're not crunching the numbers. I know when I started, I didn't. It took me a couple months. It took me a couple months to figure out, okay, hold up. What am I really making here? I need to know that, right? So I think there's money to be made for the people that are smart about it and know how to run it like a business and are analytical. But I think a lot of people come into this, they do it very short term. They do it just to pay some bills real quick, or maybe they just got fired and they're not worried about the profitability because they just got to pay rent and put food on the table and pay their phone bill. But I think there's still going to be money to be made here for people that are forward thinking and are working towards something else. I do think it can still be sustainable for a while.
So what, while we're talking about that, I don't know how your market is, but I know last 2 months or so in LA, things have changed quite a bit. And 2 months ago, I don't know, 16, 17, maybe up to 18 hours of the 24, city was blood red. I mean, there was surge everywhere, any time of the day, pretty much, except, the usual 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for rideshare. But the rest of the time, blood red, stuff is beautiful. Schools closed. All the LAUSD teachers, went, or the soccer moms went to rideshare for a short period, whatever, for the summer, for whatever reason, right? I'm seeing this oversaturated marketplace again. Now, oversaturation for Uber means something different than oversaturation for the driver. Uber's utilization rate versus our utilization rate are completely conflicting each other, by the way. So what's good for Uber is not good for the rideshare drivers, because if there's 100 cars in a neighborhood, 40 are on trips, 60 on idle, because PAC CTA have to be lowered as much as possible. That's perfect for Uber, but it kills the surge. There's not enough surge. And that's what we're making these days extra anyway, because they're cutting the quests. But long story short, do you see an oversaturated marketplace in your market when it comes to delivery? And do you also, you touched on why people, get laid off and do something for a short period. They don't pay attention to it. Why do you think there is such a high turnover rate? Other than, not everybody is doing rideshare for, just to do it. Obviously it's a risky thing to do, but they're doing it. And there are still 3 million rideshare drivers in the US, just rideshare between Uber and Lyft. And everybody complains, but there's still 3 million people out there that are doing it. They must be doing it for some reason.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Do you think it's 3 million active that actually work the app, once or twice a week, or do you think it's just 3 million accounts? Do you know if there's a difference?
No, 3 million. There's way more than 3 million accounts. There's a lot of dormant accounts. They're active drivers who do at least one ride a month, and there is close to 120 million passengers. Market's massive. But going back to those questions, two questions. Why do you think people do it? And then the turnover rate, obviously, of 70-80%. And oversaturation in the delivery market, in your market, or whatever you're seeing out there. Because I'm seeing it on the rideshare side in LA for sure the last 2 months.
Yeah, I definitely, without having any analytical data or knowing exactly how many drivers are out there, I definitely been seeing my DoorDash app go off a lot less in the last couple months, right? It used to, and there are days where it goes off crazy, but it used to, in my market is St. Louis, and it's not a big city, right? But I'm very densely populated, a lot of zones, very close, so I could do really well with DoorDash if that's the only app I had. And I did it for about a year. That was pretty much all I used. But I used to go off if I start at 10:30 and then go till 2 p.m., right? And it's going off every second. Like if I don't have a delivery and then I drop it off, boom, there's another one coming within 10 seconds. And there's very little downtime. At least that's how it used to be. Now, there are times where it could be about, and this might sound crazy to some, but for me, it's crazy. It could be 20 minutes and there's not even an offer, which for my market is very rare for DoorDash, right? Last year, that would never happen unless there's some kind of glitch or something. You'd never go 20 minutes without seeing at least a $2 order, right? Now, today, it took me about 20, 25 minutes to even see an offer come through, right? So I definitely think there's some either more drivers or it could be a combination of people just ordering less because their spending power and the money that they have that's disposable is less. So I think it's a mixture of both. But I do think that also when we have times like this where, inflation's high, recession or impending recession, whatever it is, right? Money's tight for a lot of people, right? Most people don't have an extra $800. If something happened, that's what people say. That's what we hear, right? So I think it does these apps. People go to these apps for a short amount of time, right? And just to make some ends meet. So I think we're seeing that even when times are tough, even with gas high, there are a lot of people that still they're not making ends meet. So they go to an app because it's very, very easy. It's easier to get on DoorDash than any other app.
Absolutely. It's easier to go to an interview, get a job, W-2 job, even if it's going to pay you $18, $20, whatever. Even at McDonald's, you have to go get an interview, whatever. But on any gig app, you just sign on and if you're breathing, you're good to go pretty much.
If you got, I had a good friend, he started DoorDash. I recommended it because he needed to make some quick money and, he was in a spot. He probably started it 8 or 9 months ago. And I think it was 2 days after I told him about it, he was already active app. He said, "Hey, I don't have a bag yet." I said, "Hey, you don't need one, but go to the store and grab a hot bag, or if you got a hot bag at the house, or just clean it up." And he was dashing 2 days after, making money, and was able to like cash out if you need. There isn't most other jobs where you could just automatically make money. Because if you go to a W-9, you're waiting 2 or 3 weeks to get your first check, right? With DoorDash, you don't wait. You can make money right now. So I think a lot of people know that, and there's some value in that. So I think a lot of people flood to the app because it's an easy way to make money. If you got a car, insurance, whatever, boom, a pulse, you're good to go. So
So it looks like we lost Chris. Hopefully he's getting back on because he has a hold of all the screenshots that we're going to talk about, especially when it comes to your gig conference,
Yeah, yeah.
well, hopefully annual, but this is going to be the first one, right?
Yes.
Let's until he shows up, or unless we lost him for good, I'll text him on the side. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, I think Rideshare Guy is sponsoring it with a couple other sponsors. Is that what's happening? Buckle and a couple other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, Harry's helping not just sponsor it, but really he's been a good ear for me and offering us a good soundboard and some advice. And we have companies like Solo, Para, Buckle that have come on, and I think they see, you know, this was something I envisioned about a year ago, maybe 14, 15 months ago. And I thought, hey, this could be a fun idea. I had never seen anybody do it. No content creator put something like this together. I had never heard of it. If it's been done, maybe it has. I've never known of it. And I thought, what's a way that we can connect with drivers, gig drivers, independent contractors, whatever, and break bread, connect, share stories, have a nice event that's fun. It's not just about work necessarily, but it's a way to connect. So, you know, in my channel, I do a lot of lives and I'm in the comments and I see a lot of people. What's up, Chris? Welcome back.
So the internet went down over here.
You're good, man. You're good. We're talking about the conference. If you got a screenshot,
can you put that up, please?
Yeah, hold on. I got to reload all that stuff because it kicked me out. So just give me.
I could ramble while you're doing that. So
yeah, go for it.
You know, it's just a way to connect with people because, you know, you got people in here now. You got, you know, THG, Michael, Carmen, Mech 514. You know, and we know these names and sometimes the faces based on the avatar in the comments or the live. But I wanted to find a way to connect in person. Because that's very unique, right? So we're putting together this conference July 30th in my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, with the help of Buckle, Solo, and Para, and Harry Campbell from the Rideshare Guy. So it's going to be an awesome event. We're over 200 RSVPs and growing every day, and it's going to be a free event for anybody that can come. It's completely free. You will not be asked to buy anything. I'm going to give, you know, we are giving with the help of Buckle, Solo, and Para. Everybody that comes through attendance gets a free swag bag with various swags. We're doing free food, live DJ, live karaoke, entertainment, free food, free beverages, massive giveaways and raffles. We'll probably have, 10 different giveaways and raffles. So it's really going to be a really fun event. I've been really looking forward to, and it's become even bigger and better and brighter than I expected with the help of these companies and other people. And shout out to my dear friend Samuel. He's the one that has this website. He's put this website together. He saw what my vision was, but I'm not a tech guy. I just don't know I wouldn't even know how to put together a website. So Sam is a friend of mine that did this, and you know, it's something that I will do every year, and it will be different each year, different city. It's something that I want to start. It's very grassroots, right? It's going to be a real simple event at first, but every year my hope is that we can bring people together from the internet in person. And each year it might change as far as like information or different speakers, you're getting different value, right? But it's something that I needed to just do it. And I said a year ago, hey, if 20 people show up, I'm still going to host this thing, right? And we're going to far exceed that. So it's really humbling and very exciting that people would choose to drive or fly to this event. It's going to be amazing. So
yeah, I know. I think you're doing great when you do something like this, just for the fact that, you know, I'm a huge believer in the driver being in control. A lot of drivers say, I have no control. It's the algorithm, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? No, actually, without drivers, without delivery people, there's no gig economy. These companies know this. They don't admit it, but they know it, right? So anytime you can get 2, 3, 4, 500 drivers, delivery people, whatever they are together, right? That's power. There is power in the numbers. So that's why, you know, when we want to do the town hall meetings, that's what we want to do. Like, you know, imagine what would happen if all the drivers, rideshare drivers in St. Louis turned their apps off at the exactly same time at 7 a.m. What would happen to these companies? What would happen to Uber and Lyft? Right? They'll be up Schitt's Creek without a pedal. It'll be surging like no tomorrow. Passengers will be stranded. You know, the platform will collapse. I mean, look, you know, the people have to understand that. So when you do something like this, right, and it grows and it grows and it grows, you know, that means there is people who, you know, want to have their voices out, right? Because the driver and the delivery guy never gets their voice out unless you have a YouTube channel like that, or, you know, or Rideshare Guy, whatever it is. To me, these events, you know, signify something that, you know, they won't let you unionize. Well, who wants a union anyway? But what happens is that let's get together, let's talk about it, and there is stuff we can do because there is power in numbers. I think it's a great idea. I wish you nothing but success. I still don't know. I may still show up, but it's going to depend on my kids' schedule.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I want to say one more thing on the conference. I don't want to speak too much about it, but
no, you should.
Sunday, this past Sunday, we started a giveaway sweepstakes. I call it giveaway, whatever word we want to use. So from this past Sunday, which was the 26th, for the next 2 weeks, any new person that puts in an RSVP, and I want you guys to remember this is a free event, it's no cost, right? Not so anybody that puts in an RSVP from the 26th until 2 weeks from then, I'm going to pick one random winner, and with the help of Buckle Solopara, we're going to cover your gas cost, your fuel cost to get to the event if you're driving, and we're going to put you in a hotel for 1 or 2 nights. If you want to stay one night on us, 2 nights on us, whatever. We're going to pick one person at random because I know a lot of people want to come, but I understand that, hey, money's the issue for a lot of people. We're gig drivers. We don't make a lot of money. Some of us don't, right? Most of us, 99% of us don't make a crazy amount of money, right? But maybe you want to come to this event, but you're like, I can't afford the gas. I got to get a hotel. We'll cover it. So I'm going to pick one person at random. I'll announce that person live on the Sunday show, in 2 weeks, basically. And that's going to be fun and exciting. So if somebody wants to put an RSVP in, it's completely free. And if you win, you win, So Sergio, you can put an RSVP in and maybe your name gets picked and we cover the cost.
No,
so
if I'm coming, Harry's paying. So there
you go. There you go.
So I saw a comment, let's just touch on that real quick. So Rideshare Professor, he's another internet YouTuber but he's changed his tune when it comes to Uber, Lyft, gig economy in general. He's just running negative, I guess, sales. And people go, oh, yeah, you're this, you're that. I'm like, okay, fine. So the comment says, Rideshare Professor is hosting tactical strikes next weekend, right? What do you think about these? What do you think about these tactical strikes? Because I participated in a couple. We've had a couple of these things, and I'm like, I don't think it worked. I think there's so many people out there doing it that I don't know. I think
I have a strong opinion. I don't know how much time you have, but I've seen.
We have all the time you want.
I've seen some of those videos. I made a video myself months ago when they were doing that. I think strikes are great for certain issues, socially, this, that. If you're really taking advantage of, I think those things are, like you said earlier, Sergio. There's power in numbers, right? Yep. So I think for certain situations, they make sense. For me, this type of work we do, it makes zero sense. I don't get it. I think we could be negative and I think there's an audience for that. I think there's whatever, but I've always, at least from my personal experience, when I tend to look at myself and say, oh, how can I control the situation? What can do for me, the people around me, the people that watch my videos? Like, it's better to actually come up with solutions, and striking clearly doesn't do anything. I think the last time it was St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. And my whole thing was, okay, let's just say, because anytime you do something, you should always think like, okay, what's the best case scenario? So on that day, the best case scenario is nobody drives, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens? You got a lot of people looking for rides, but like maybe they're drunk, maybe they're this, maybe that. So we're just trading one issue for the next. And I don't know. I think these companies are crazy. They do crazy things, but I like to teach people how to be smart and figure out a way to work the system and still make your money and then just get out of it if you want to get out of it. And, not giving these apps too much power and control. Yep. They do enough. They control us enough if you allow them to. So that's kind of where I stand on it. A lot of people don't agree with that, but that's what I do because I've used the apps in a way that have really benefited my life. So for me, it's not completely all bad. You just got to know how to work it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I stand with that.
Yeah, that's what, the town halls are for. What you're doing is for, voice your opinions. I mean, strike is a strike, whatever you want to call it. You can, this has been going on for a decade now, right? These companies have been around. It's not like they were born yesterday. They have a diametrically opposite view of what they need to be doing versus you. I mean, they're corporations with stockholders. They need to make money. They need to figure out how to do it. Well, if you're getting in the way, tough shit, you're getting in the way. They have to do what they have to do to make money. And so do you. So to me, You know, a lot of people figure it out. You know, I see on the comments, I make 300 a day, I make 500 a day. Man, I know drivers in LA that are killing it right now with 60 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute, believe it or not. Okay, 60 freaking cents a mile, while the IRS deduction is 62.5 cents.
Yeah.
How are they doing it? They're doing it. They have strategy. They're following up. But you know, when it comes to these strikes and stuff, by the way, I don't think they're effective. Okay, and yeah, it gets some media play here and there. They go, oh, drivers are striking. I'm like, yeah, but then for everyone that's striking, 100 of them are still driving. So, you know, I don't think they're effective whatsoever. But I agree with you that, you know, don't bitch, do it, figure it out, figure out how to do it well, and make the money. I mean, look, if you're making 30, 40 bucks an hour because you figured it out, it wasn't given to you. There's a steep learning curve. You're not going to just go open your mouth like a little chick, you know, out of the egg and say, oh, put 30 bucks in here. I'm like, no, it's not going to work like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know, pay your dues and do it. But
Well,
and
I don't, you know, I don't think we need unions in what we do. We don't need that. But I think when, you know, and I'm not as educated enough to know, but when I think of strikes, I think of like employee and union and this and that. I just don't, you know, I don't get it. But you also have to understand that everybody's perspective is different, right? Their walking life's different, their market's different, the household they grew up in is different. So maybe they had a dad or an uncle or a mom that worked at a place and they struck and it worked for them. So that, you know, what they saw might have worked. So maybe they feel like they can do the same within this gig economy. But I just feel like, you know, at the end of the day, if you do something 100 times and you don't see a change, some people would say, well, we got to do 101. Maybe it'll happen then. At the end of the day, I try to keep my focus on things I can control, and I can't control Uber. I can control my car though, and my passengers. I can control I can control that and what I take. And if you shift your focus to that, you could make money. And if you can't, hey, there's a lot of W-2 places hiring right now, you know, so there's a lot of, in America right now, there's a lot of opportunity, at least in my market. So you got to go find the money, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's the definition of insanity. People do go out there and drive without strategy. You know, people tell me, yeah, you have strategy, it doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, it does work. That's why I make the money I make, and that's why you make 50% less than I do. That's why Pedro makes the money he makes, and that's why other delivery drivers make half as much.
It absolutely does. You know, like think about like the guys that play cards really well, right? The guys that play poker and the World Series of Poker. A lot of the times, the guys that win, the last 10 guys are all the same dudes. Sometimes, right? There's strategy plays in a lot of things we do.
Absolutely.
And the ones that can't make it or whatever, I get it, but you got to find out what's going to work for you. What is your niche? What are people in your market willing to pay you? And if you shift that focus to that, I think it's more beneficial. So,
Hey, Chris, while he was talking about rideshare and the risks of having people in your car. Let's touch upon that Vegas driver. Do you have the picture for that one? The one that got beat up, the poor old lady. Yeah, this one is kind of blurred. We can't really show the video because it's kind of gruesome. Go for it.
No, if you want to start.
No, you go for it.
Well, where do you want me to go?
No, let's talk about safety, a little bit of safety of drivers, the risks of doing rideshare, and what we think should change. To be honest with you, so
we'll start with rideshare, and then Pedro, if you want to transition the food delivery aspect of safety, because there's two definite differences between rideshare and food delivery, as you mentioned too. What I was saying, you have people in the car now. It's definitely a lot different when it comes to safety, especially at night. I drive at night. I prefer the night mostly because talking about traffic and stuff like that on last week's episode when we were going through an article and kind of poking a little fun at some of the things. But yeah, I don't like traffic, so I prefer at night. I like just getting behind the wheel. People are a lot more fun too at night because they're going out to party versus going to a meeting at a job they might hate. So I like that aspect much better, but it comes with a lot more risk. And that is, you get those drunk people, you get the people who are slurring their speech. If you say something wrong, it sets them off, whatever it might be. And we've all seen many of videos. I've put plenty of videos on my channel talking about, the different dash cam. We've all talked about it. But yeah, rideshare, there's a huge thing, especially what you see right now on the screen. This is from Las Vegas, right?
Yep.
I think it was. Yeah, it was the one in Las Vegas. And every week you're hearing, multiple stories around the country of something happening with rideshare drivers, some sort of issue, a unruly passenger, something that happens. And this is no difference, no different. Something was said that was wrong or not wrong, set somebody off, and this is what happens. So the whole thing is, when it comes down to safety, you really got to be smart at what you're doing. You really got to pay attention to what's going on around you, especially as people are getting in your car. You need to read people. You need to understand what people are doing. You need to kind of look at them, and that's the whole thing. Where pay attention to your surroundings, because the other thing too, carjackings and stuff when they order rides. This is more in like Chicago and areas like that. So it's be aware of your surroundings, what's happening. The people that are coming in your car, don't have your doors unlocked. Like, keep them locked, and try to always be not setting other people off. So you got to try to keep always de-escalating situations. Don't be so hard on the ball right away to put up some sort of barrier to another person, especially if they're drunk, if they're there's multiple people around. The biggest reason is because if you do something like that and it turns bad, you're screwed. You're going to have a real problem. And pretty much every ride that I've taken so far, besides a few during the day, were all at night. I've had a few weird encounters, a few close calls. Two of them, out of all the rides that I've taken, only two were serious health and safety considerations when it came to it. One was I was picking somebody up, and this was in the east side of Buffalo. It's not the best part of town, and it was like 1, 2 in the morning or something. It was a kid going to work. He was going to the casino, and all he was doing going to work. The thing was, it was in a drug-related area, and so somebody started following me, and then got out of the car and came up, and that could have been a real issue there, because they were searching for somebody, who knows what. So that was one of the worst parts. And then another part was, there were two guys that came out from a bar. They were going to another bar, and then it was two other people that were coming in the car that I thought, because they said we got a couple more people, but I had a feeling that it was probably going to be more than what was allowed. And so somebody was in the car. They already were in. They came out, two at a time, and then waited in the car. And when I said, no, I can't take the ride because it's 5 people, we were going through where there were cops sitting too, down the street. So it was this street, Elmwood, which is a bar district. It's got bars, in different spots on that street. So we're going from one bar down the street to the other bar. And I said, look, I can't take you. There's 5 people. You're going to have to get an XL, or I can take a couple of people, but I can't take everybody. And the one guy got in my face, and things luckily the friends were good about it and got him out right away. But yeah, it can be a serious issue that can turn on a dime if you're not paying attention, if you're not trying to de-escalate the situation. Like I said, you can watch the video on my channel. It's there. I just said, look, I can't take you guys. You gotta figure something else out. And
but there is things that a lot of rideshare drivers, since 80% quit in less than 8 months. Honestly, newbies get in and they have no safeguards, none. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. As a 6-year veteran, I've been into many hairy situations, but that's not the issue. The issue is treat this like your own little business. And would you, at 2 a.m, open your car doors to anybody? Just because you're doing Uber doesn't mean you need to just walk around with unlocked doors, right? So I have set my rules for pickup. I have set my rules, my personal rules. It's my car. It's my rules. I don't give a shit what Uber says, what Lyft says. So if I go to a pickup, first of all, my doors are locked. You are not jumping in my car. 1, especially at drunk hours, there's 50 people looking 50 different cars. The likelihood of somebody wrong getting in your car is very high. 2, put your passenger window halfway down. Confirm who the passenger is. If that guy's stumbling towards your car and is about to sleep on your hood, That he's going to see my tailpipes. I don't give a shit what the heck happens, right? Number 3, once you confirm the passenger and they get in the car, obviously, you know, with the pandemic rules, you can only have 3 instead of 4. And in this lady's case, this is what happened. This lady, Zune XL, 7 passengers. She said, initially, no, I cannot take 7. I can only take 6, right? They begged her, you're our last chance, do this, do that, all that stuff. Sure enough, you know, there were a couple of comments on Mech 514 and a couple of guys said she never should have done it. I agree. I 100% agree. She should have never even opened the doors, unlocked the doors, put the window down, count 7. I cannot take 7. See you later. Or order 2 X's, whatever you're going to do, right? Well, she fell for it. For a $6 ride, $6 ride, right? She ends up with a damaged car, a black eye and a half, and she could have gotten killed. 7 women jump in the car. She takes this ride. First of all, you're not supposed to do it. You have only 6 seatbelts. She takes it, and at the end, at drop-off, it goes sour. Well, you know, they throw each other their water bottles or whatever it is, and 2 of the girls jump on her and beat the shit out of her, right? And then the next day, you have her, you know, picture plastered with black eyes all over the place. Bro, you just admitted you took 7 people for a car that's suited for 6. Don't do it. It's not worth the $6 that you're going to make. Don't. And that's what I always try to tell drivers. Have your own safeguards, like for pickups. For me, in LA, densely populated area, not a freaking chance on the planet I'm driving more than 2 miles and 6 minutes to pick somebody up. Those are my rules because I want to make money. No, I'm not going to do it, right? And in this case, like, you know, maybe you read it, Pedro, or not. About 2.5 months ago, I had this problem with Lyft. I almost got deactivated because they wanted me to pick up a crackhead, right? And I'm like, this lady's walking towards my car. We did even a short video with it. She has bags in her hands, dark 5:30 in the morning, right? She starts cussing at me, every single name in the book before she even gets in my car. Then the bag breaks. There's vegetables and shit all over the floor, right? And sure enough, cusses at me some more, trying to grab my door, cancel, tailpipes.
Absolutely.
And then 10 minutes later, I get an email from Lyft saying that you're canceling too many rides. We're going to deactivate you. I'm like, assholes. I'm following policy. I'm following your guidelines, community guidelines. If I feel unsafe, I have the right to cancel, right? That's when it comes to the IC model that I asked you the question for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, bro, if I'm an IC, I'm an electrician. I go into a gangland and you want me to fix your satellite or whatever it is. I'm not gonna do it. See you later.
It's not worth it.
You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth the $6. So this lady, but at least there's some good that came out of it. And they major damage to her car, by the way. I mean, they just beat the shit out of her and the car. There's dents everywhere. And Uber stepped in to the goodness of their heart, gave her $5,000, no joke. And then because she was worried about if she was going to get covered under the, you know, period 3 insurance policy, I guarantee you, if she didn't get beat and something went sideways and passengers complained that, oh, this lady took 7 people instead of 6 in the car, they would have deactivated her for sure, because that's against policy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they gave her $5,000. They said they're going to fix the car and they're going to pay her medical bill. So this one turned out well, but it's not worth it. Don't do it. $6, $8, $10, $20. It ain't worth it. Just cancel and move on. You know what I mean? So
same thing with the unaccompanied minors. Same thing with children
100%.
without car seats. All those things, don't do it. It's not worth the few bucks that it could. Like, I understand everybody's got different problems and stuff like that, and you're doing this or whatever it might be. But look, when it comes down to it, if there's a liability issue, if you get into trouble, if you get into an accident, because you're rideshare driving, you're going to have a much greater chance being on the road a lot more at getting into an accident. And you never know if it's going to be with somebody in the car, whether it's going to be somebody like an unaccompanied minor, too many people in the car, whatever it could be. Children without car seats. I mean, what would happen if a baby got in a car and the mother was holding it? She's not going to be able to hold it in the event of an accident. It's impossible. And who are they going to come after? They're going to come after you. The passengers are going to come after you. The companies are going to say, you didn't follow protocol, you're deactivated, you're done, and you're paying for all this and everything else behind it. So yeah, it's not worth that $6. Every single person I talk to who says, you know, I'd rather take an Uber or a Lyft home because I don't want to get a DUI or DWI. That's the same exact thing here when it comes to don't take people you're not supposed to because it's against the law. And if something happens, it's the same exact thing. You could drive drunk 2,500 times and be, oh, okay. But it's that one time something happens that you're done for. You $10,000 jail time, depending on what it is. So yeah, it's not worth it. Same thing here when you're a rideshare driver.
But luckily, she had a dash cam. She had a dash cam. It's on dash cam. Those people, you know, Las Vegas PD hasn't inquired if they want the footage to put these people in jail. She got assaulted, for God's sakes, right? So we'll see how that goes. So driving drunk hours in my heyday, which was 16, 17, I don't do those hours anymore. But so I discovered in a very short period of time, this is funny. It's like 3 types of drunks. There are sad drunks, happy drunks, and mad drunks. So the first 2, the sad and happy, super easy. The sad one will get in, you go, hey, how's it going? Oh, my girlfriend dumped me. My boss is an asshole. You know, all that shit, right? You listen for like half an hour, you like pray shrink for like, I don't know, it's $8 a ride, and then they get the heck out and you're done. The happy drunks are wonderful. You know, it's like, oh, the rose-colored glasses, world is beautiful. I can't be happier.
Tips are usually good too with the happy drunks.
Tips with the tips are very good.
The repeater,
yeah. The repeater, yeah. And then you have the mad drunks, which those are the tough ones, right? Because you don't know if they're going to get triggered with some stuff you say, or you don't know if they're about to stab you in the neck. You don't know if they're going to be just quiet, flipping their Facebook. So you just kind of have to read the mood. But so whoever's doing drunk hours, guys, I feel for you. But that's usually where the money is these days, because you know, not much is left. But yeah, that's it. So that's the lady. But hopefully it'll all end well for her. I don't know.
Hopefully, yeah. And hopefully she'll recover and everything.
And hopefully she'll learn the lesson, not put 7 people in a goddamn Excel. There you go.
No way, I would never. Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit, look at that.
So now we kind of covered some of the rideshare, and this is a topic that we could go on and on and on about. But you know, we covered the rideshare aspect of things, but now let's switch over to the food delivery and some of the safety when it comes to there. So Pedro, if you want to take that.
Yeah, Pedro, how do you double park all the time, bro?
So, you know, I've with food delivery, it's obviously less, I think, right? There's less situations that are as scary as rideshare, right? But for me, you deliver to, you know, somebody says, oh, come back to this back alley. It's dark. The address doesn't match. Like that happens. People do that.
Really?
You know, oh yeah. I had somebody in my market in St. Louis, she got pistol whipped. This was last year on a food delivery, and they robbed her, you know. So as a food delivery driver, you still have some risks you have to be careful of. But at the end of the day, right, we have to trust our, what I call it, like our instincts, our gut. If you roll up to a house and something don't feel right, you don't get out and you don't try to deliver it. You either call support, let them know, text the customer, I'm going to put your food here. Like, who cares if you get a contract violation? Doesn't matter. You can still work, you know, like you have to take care of yourself. Right. So I always tell, for food delivery, I always talk about, hey, if the address ain't right, communicate with the customer. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it wasn't, you know, but especially at night, you know, you got to be really careful. Don't trust your gut. Don't deliver food to alleyways. Like I have a lot of alleys in St. Louis, and people, and even some of the alleys are their back door or their door they want me to deliver to is within that alley. And I don't do food delivery or rideshare at night anymore. I just don't, because I want to be home. But when I did, you know, you have those deliveries, you have to trust your gut. You know, you got to make sure your phone's handy. Do you have a flashlight? Do you have this? Do you have that? You know, but at the end of the day, like with food delivery, I tell people, trust your gut. No $6 order, I don't care if it's a $20 order, is worth something happening to you or putting yourself in a position to where you got to fight for your life or do this or run away. Like, nah, you know what? Hey, you call support. I don't feel safe. You know, there's no lights on, the address isn't right. Or, you know, you get to a place and there's like dogs that aren't on a leash, you know, like if you don't feel safe for whatever reason, because delivery drivers deal with dogs a lot. That's a thing, right? Yeah. You just say, hey, call the customer, I'm going to drop it off here. You call support, you cover your butt, you take a picture, you know, the in-app messaging has all the communication. Don't get out of your car if you don't feel safe. It's what I tell drivers. So it's
so
simple,
do they put you in timeouts too, by the way, on DoorDash? I know they do it for rideshare, obviously. I mean, unspoken in certain ways. But you know,
what kind of timeout do you guys see in
like you don't get requests? They just shut you out.
The only thing they do on DoorDash, if you decline, and it changes. Right? So mostly it's 10 orders. So if you decline 10 orders in a row, they'll pause
In a row,
you.
wow.
Yeah, they'll pause you, but
Okay.
you could just resume your dash, if you catch
okay.
it. But so they do that, but I think the reason they pause you is because the algorithm supposes, okay, well, we sent you 10 orders. Are you still looking at your phone? Like, are you still active?
I got you. Okay.
They're not making you take anything. It's just like, hey, are you still here kind of deal. You know what I mean?
I think they know that with the gyroscope in your phone. I think they know that, but I mean, they know everything. But I was wondering about that because we do have unspoken timeouts for rideshare.
Yeah, I never experienced that when I did the rideshare.
Well, you didn't cancel too much or pass on. Like when I was truly doing rideshare, my acceptance rate was like 14%.
Oh, so, mine's really low too. No, my acceptance rate was low. Yeah,
cherry picked the crap out of it. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
But no, I was wondering how that goes. Yeah, but when it comes to safety, man, it ain't worth it. I don't give a shit if it's $100 order, whatever it is. It ain't worth it. I ain't busting my ass for you. It's my car, my rules.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
The one thing I would say, I'll share a real quick story. When I was doing rideshare a lot, I did a lot like Chris. I did a lot of late night, and I really liked it because I made good. Like, I've managed restaurants, so I can read the drunks. I know how to handle people mostly. You read your room, you understand what what to push and what not to push, and you treat people with respect. Most of the time, you're going to be fine, right? Especially when you're picking up people that are just trying to have a good time or whatever. And usually, if you're picking up 3 or 4 people, if one person's a jerk, the other their friends will kind of balance it out, right? And as long as you're not escalating the situation, right? But a few times I would pick up people. Oh, can we go through the White Castle drive-through or the McDonald's drive-through? And I'm probably not supposed to do that, but I did it. I did it a few times, and they tipped me $20, $50 in cash. One guy gave me $100 bill, and I knew it was like, okay, I'm going to spend more time with this person in my car. But like, so those are situations. Looking back, I wouldn't do it now, but I definitely did stuff like that then because it's all risk versus reward kind of deal. And sometimes you don't know better, and you learn through error and trial and error. But I've definitely put myself in situations that weren't favorable or 100% correct when I was doing rideshare. So you just got to know what works for you. But like, there's been plenty of times I picked up 3 young girls from a club. Oh, can we go to White Castle? It's kind of hard to say no sometimes, right? You're in a car, you're having a good, you know what I mean? Like there's situations, there's a gray area, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't be doing that stuff, but it does happen. I think a lot of drivers do it, and it is your car. It's your, if you feel comfortable, you do stuff, but we got to be careful because nowadays people get, with everything the way it is, they get real desperate.
So what is your opinion of ants? What do you think about ants?
Ants?
Ants, the animal ant.
Oh, the ant. Oh, ants. Oh, that's I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't give.
I have a distinct opinion of ants, but let's hear yours because I don't think you accept every $2.50 DoorDash.
Oh, I don't take any. No, I don't take any of those.
So what ants do?
Well, sure. Ants are workers. I guess I don't give a lot of thought to ants.
Let's put that screenshot up, Chris. With all
Which one?
I can say I'm not an ant. I'll say that. I'll say I'm not.
I'm proud of you.
I'm not an ant. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I have nothing against it, but I think they're making a massive mistake. I think they're almost encouraging DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub to send these shit orders to people, man. Who would make $2.50 for anything?
Yeah,
what is $2.50?
I have a motto on my channel now. I didn't come up with this slogan or whatever, but the no tip, no trip that was popular a couple years ago. I did probably about 6 months ago. I started no tip, no trip 2.0 on DoorDash and Uber. I can tell if there's a tip on there 99.9% of the time, and if there isn't a tip, I don't move. I don't care if I got a $3 peak pay. If DoorDash wants to pay me $5.25 because my base pay is $2.25, and I'm on a $3 peak, I don't care if it's going a foot. I don't take it because I'm costing myself money, and I don't enable behavior like that. I don't deal with customers that back tips out. I think those are the times you're going to have a lot of issues. The food's probably closed, so the customer's going to be mad because it's been sitting a long time. They're going to say they didn't get their order. The delivery instructions usually aren't accurate. I just don't even allow myself to do business with people that don't value my time or are uneducated enough to back a tip out. Like I just don't deal. The no tip, no trip 2.0 is like big for me. I have to make money. This isn't charity. I do charity on my side time. I'm not doing $2 orders, and people that do them, hey, if you can make, you're not really making money, but if you can justify it, whatever, but I cannot. I think there should never be any trip, rideshare or food delivery, less than a gallon of gas in your market. And it's despicable that they even come out. So if I pay $4.98 for gas. I should see nothing less than that. That's how I look at it. So I don't take anything less than that. So I don't care if it's a foot. Like I'm not spending time, because I feel like if I take that order, I'm probably missing out on a good one that's going to come a minute or two later. So I'm costing myself dollars. So
So that's my opinion of ants as well. If there were not ants, Uber and Lyft would collapse, because if everybody was like me and you for delivery or rideshare.
Good point.
There'll be a lot of people waiting for cars and food, buddy. So
it's a great point. I think drivers like us, they don't, we need the ants and you need the other ones. But at the end of the day, if everybody was like the three of us, a lot of people wouldn't be serviced, and that's not good either. But it's my business. It's my car. I cannot do a $2 or $3 order. I just never will. So
cool. Mm-hmm. What's up next, Chris?
Well, I think that's a perfect segue talking about the Uber crew, because this is something that is aimed to help voice.
I think they're watching us, Chris. I'm serious, bro. No, I'm not joking. When was the last time they announced a town hall meeting on Uber? Never.
I signed up for or I didn't sign up, but I saw that who my local representative was, reached out to them, never heard anything. Yep, never heard anything.
Okay, do you know they don't get paid, right? They're the volunteers.
Oh, I know that, but I didn't. Okay, I didn't.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. First of all, why? Why?
I think they might be able to help.
Huh?
They think. Here's the thing. I think the way they set it up, they think these crew members think that they're going to be able to actually help, to help make things better. Like they have a voice that can be heard.
Okay.
I did lift DAC in 2019. I was a DAC member for the local area of Buffalo.
You were?
And let me tell you, we brought up points. We had meetings and points. We got paid for it, but
Dak was
the whole thing was we brought up points. Nothing was done. Nothing.
It's a PR stunt. It's a PR stunt.
Oh, yeah.
I worked at a casino. I worked at a casino. I was a food and beverage director of a big casino in St. Louis. Was my last job, and we would have certain things in town hall, whatever, and we'd have a secretary taking notes. And very rarely did anything that an employee or a manager or assistant manager would come up with would ever be implemented, because at the end of the day, it's just to make you feel good kind of deal. And it sucks because it wastes people's time. But unfortunately, I think that's where this is going.
Right. So they announced their first one, which was coincidentally day after our town hall. Initially, we were going to do July 5th, but we pushed it because Chris has some family barbecue or something. I don't know. So Uber crew town hall, I registered, bro. Let me tell you something. Looking forward to this one. Except on the bottom, on the right, it says in tiny, tiny print. It says, as a reminder, this is a Zoom webinar, which means, I can't even read it, it's so small. It means your Zoom meeting with your audio and video turned off. So I'm like,
it's listen to what we're doing. Here's the
but we can print like chat. We can print our fingers off or type our fingers off and tell them how much can you put in a comment and how fast does that brilliant Uber crew member is going to read that and then take it to Uber execs. Bullshit. I call it to this one, but I'm going to waste 2 hours of my life next Wednesday and do it if they say webinar registration pending approval. So I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe they'll approve me, maybe they won't. But I'm looking forward to it, Chris.
Here's the deal, though. What my question is, because I don't see anything in these little notes here that says we can't live stream this meeting. So maybe we live stream the meeting and then we kind of give our thoughts and feedback to everybody watching while it's going on.
That's a good idea.
While they're doing it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Put my camera right on the screen, bro. Oh yeah.
No, you could share your screen. You could share a tab and then it'll be the Zoom conference.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit.
That'll really piss them off.
There's nothing there. If anybody at Uber is watching this,
they're watching.
Let us know if we can or can't. But
They're
that would be
watching.
kind of an interesting. That would be an interesting perspective, because we could see what is being said with Uber crew, and then we could see what is being said with the comments and our thoughts behind it too.
Yeah,
Just a thought.
you know, I may actually record this one. Yeah, I'll probably record it. I don't know if they let me. Well, I'm sure they will. Who's gonna know? The other thing that I'm really curious about is that I know this is not going to go anywhere. I know it's going to be 2 hours of my wasted time, but hey, you know, it's the first one I'm in if they let me in. So Pedro, by the way, we're trying to get an Uber exec or a Lyft exec on our show. So the betting is so against me that we're gonna get somebody on. I'm like the biggest underdog. I'm like fighting Tyson, and a lot of people who know say they will not come within 10 miles of you with a restraining order. I'm going like, why? We're just gonna like civil. I mean, are you feeling threatened right now, Pedro? I mean, like we're having a civil conversation here, right?
Well, I don't feel threatened, but I don't work for Uber, so you know.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, why should they feel threatened? Right?
They shouldn't. But you know, I think you know, it's hard to know if these people really watch us, right? It's hard to say. Do they?
Well, I know they do.
I think they see some of what we do. You know, I got a lot of videos in a very short amount of time, and I've bashed DoorDash, but I've also given them credit when credit's due. If I feel like they do something that's good for the community, I say, hey guys, hold up.
I do it all the time.
You know, so I'm just giving you either my opinion, but also some facts of what they actually do, whether it's with pay or with this or with that, right? Manipulation, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I wonder, are they really watching? I don't know. I mean,
they're watching. Trust me.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think so. I know so.
Yeah.
I have some. Let's see. How do we put this like without blowing anything?
Yeah, some inside knowledge.
I have some communication that's been back and forth.
Got it.
That I know they are. Now, what they do with it and what kind of opinions they form about me, is on their own. Whatever they do. But I think honestly, like, let me ask your opinion on this. You're like you worked at public relations, you worked at service jobs. Okay. Instead of these bullshit, you know, PR stunts that they pull, like this Uber crew thing that they're doing or whatever, wouldn't you think it would give him so much credibility if a top exec of Uber shows up for 1 hour and talks civilly, answers some questions on our show? I swear it will do so much more that 1 hour than all this mumbo jumbo bullshit that they, you know, float in the mainstream media. You know what I mean? It'll be such goodwill, you know?
I do. I think sometimes you see big companies do that kind of stuff. You know, I think of like Undercover Boss. You know, like you see, you know, they put out a press release or this. Some companies do it, but I also think that I think of like Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, any of them, Grubhub, Instacart, you know, they have, I think sometimes they make decisions based on, okay, they just want to stay relevant. And I think the one thing that, Sergio, if you think they're watching us, the one thing that the advantage that they get from guys like us is we talk about them all the time.
Yeah, we keep it
right.
relevant.
We're giving them free advertisement almost, right? Even if we're talking bad about it, the word
news is good news. Yeah.
Any news is good news. So the word Uber is like out there, right?
Yeah.
So the 125 people that are watching right now, we said Uber probably, I don't know, 100 times, a couple hundred times. We said DoorDash 100 times. So that tells in your mind, you're thinking like, oh, should I order DoorDash tonight? Oh, we got to go out to the base. You know, we got to go to the baseball game, honey. How are we going to get to the game? Oh, you know what? We can order an Uber, right?
Yeah.
So, and most people that watch are drivers, but we talk about them so much. No news is bad news, and I think they know that, and we're giving them free advertising sometimes.
Yeah.
At least I know I do. So
I also think honestly, I think they live in a bubble. They need to step out of that bubble. You know, instead of looking down at me like, oh, look, you're a pity driver down there. I'm like, no, bro, without me, there is no paycheck for you. But besides that, you know, get out of your, step out of the bubble. Let's talk face to face, man to man, women to man, whatever it is. Yeah. Somebody show up, you know, like this driver safety thing. You know, I totally disagree with what Uber does, how Uber onboards their passengers. There's no safety check. Man, I had people with the weirdest fucking names on the planet come on the car. You know, and I'm going like, bro, who did the background check or vetting on you? I mean, come on now, right?
So and they could sign up with like any kind of little debit card. The name says like Cash Money Hustler, and like you never know who So it's definitely a lot of opportunity.
So a lot of stuff that they come and fix, but they probably won't. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I just thought maybe we have a chance, but the more of these we do, the less chances I have. So the betting is definitely against me right now.
So let me ask you a question, Sergio. So I would imagine, or have you sent emails out, or have you used Twitter to try to get your name out there to let these guys know, hey, I'm Sergio, I want to talk to somebody at Uber? I'm sure you've done that. Yeah,
I have done that. And no, they know what I write, and they read it. I've gotten from the top honcho, so
okay,
they're watching. They're paying attention, and I think they have a very firm opinion of what my opinion is of their service and of the company. However, fingers crossed, maybe one day we'll do it. All right, what's next, buddy?
It could happen. Yeah.
Well, let's talk. Let's kind of go back a couple of weeks when we were talking about. I think it was when Harry was on the show, right? We were talking about your article that came out, and this was when, or if Uber loses money or just takes 50% of your pay.
Oh yeah. Boy, did I get some hate shit on this one.
Oh, I've seen this. No, I get this with I look at my more details, and I would say there's a good percentage sometimes of my orders that Uber is negative with their Uber Eats. Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not surprised. I know why, but yeah.
No, I know why too. But you know what it is that a lot of drivers, and Harry correctly talked about this, it's a perception of the driver that they have. They see that one trip that Uber took 70%, right? And they go, oh my God, they just took some. I'm like, yeah, they took 70%. It's in your terms of service. You just drove, and let's move on.
Yeah.
So this ride, right? 2.1 miles, 4 minutes and 37 seconds, $14.05. Do you think this is a profitable ride for me?
Let me see. This is a rideshare, right?
This is rideshare, yeah.
So $14, you drove 2 miles, and it only took you 4 minutes. Yeah, that's profitable.
Like extremely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it like, okay, if that's an Uber Eats order, if my screen shows $14 for 2 miles, I'm all over that.
That's $7 a mile, right?
That's fantastic, yeah.
Right. So right side, Uber lost 31 cents on this, right? So that's another one. This was last Saturday night. I drove for literally 45 minutes in my neighborhood. Did not go anywhere further than that. This is another one, 2.4 miles, 10 minutes, $10.63. Uber lost $2.04 on that.
That's easy money. Yeah.
That's like no money, right? So I drove literally for 45 minutes and made $35, and that was it. I was literally in my backyard. And this was the worst of them all. 3.7 miles, $10, 9 minutes. Uber lost $1.19. So
still good.
No-brainers. So to me, I stayed in my zone, made $35 in 45 minutes. Uber lost money on all three. So when I say overall, right, if I drive, Uber's take is not 50, 60%. Uber's take is more like 25 to 30%, maybe 40%. And people go all out of shape saying that, no, they take too much money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I ran 788 trips on a spreadsheet. Uber made 9% on me. That was it. Not 50, not 60%, 9%. 788 trips. And the amount of hate mail I got, I need to get a bodyguard kind of hate mail. I'm like, what's the big? You put your 788 trips or deliveries on a spreadsheet. Let's see what their take rate is. So it is what it is.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things too is you drive when there's promotions. You multi
only,
which we're going to talk about in a minute too.
Some of
them for 4th of July, but that's one of the biggest things. Like if you want to make money and you want to make the maximum you can when you're out on the road, you need to be smart about the times you go out. You need to look at when the promotions are happening. You need to make those decisions. Is it going to be profitable to drive at this point or not? And then when you're on the road, you need to also implement what your strategies are in order to do this, because that's when Uber's losing money. You don't want them to lose money all the time, because if they're losing money, it's not sustainable, but you want them to at least make the money that they can. So then, when they do take 40, 50, 60, 70% of a fare, it does even out where it's, 10, 20, 30% maybe. And then, you know, you're making the money you're trying to make, and they're still making something as well too. Because again, if they're not making money, well, they're not going to last much longer, and then we're all out of it.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. But if you do drive smart, and if you only drive when they show you the money, I think you can make still good money in rideshare or delivery.
Yeah.
If you are a full-time driver, I feel for you, because the hours that you can have true success is less and less these days. Maybe schools open back up in the fall. I think it's going to pick up again, so I think it'll be fine. But, you know, this is an example that 3 rides, all 3 Uber loses money. On the next 3, even if they made 50%, the average of all 6 rides is going to be 25%, people. It's freaking math, people. Figure it out. Anyway, so stop sending me hate mail. They go like, oh, you're like Harry, you're Uber shill, you're like this, you're like that.
You know what
the fuck are you guys talking about?
Right. So this brings up us to the next point of what's going on. And this is what we talked about with 4th of July promos are coming out for people. But the thing is, this is what we had talked about with Dr. Leonard the other week, and where he's saying, you know, certain people are going to be targeted, certain promotions and certain rides and all of these or deliveries, because they have the information available. You know, if you are somebody who's picking and choosing based on profit, you're going to tailor that so you're on the platform and you're still taking rides or deliveries, and they're going to show you the money. For the person who just takes everything that goes on, like when they're told, takes every single ride, losing money, then they're probably going to be upset. They're probably going to be having, you know, 40, 50, 60% take almost every ride, because they're not taking those promotions that are available to them. They're just, you know, they're the true ants when it comes down to it.
Well, I mean, look, Pedro, think about this, okay? If you are willingly doing 150 trips a week on rideshare, and you're accepting everything, and your acceptance rate is 100%, cancellation is 0, right? Why should Uber send you or Lyft send you any promos? You're doing it anyway.
You're doing it anyway. No, I battle with certain people on the Uber Eats side, where they're a diamond driver. They take everything and they say they make money. It's like, I don't see how that's possible, but you don't. Or if you're making maybe money, but you're not making as much as you could if you were more selective. And I try to debate people, and I just don't. You just
quality over quantity, right?
Right. And there's no, if the app or algorithm or whatever we want to call it knows that Pedro DoorDash Santiago is going to take every DoorDash order, why would they send me any kind of promo? Because I'm going to work it. So there's no incentive for them to do that, right? So, you know, everybody can do their thing and make, you know, everybody has their different goals and what they can make. But at the end of the day, my theory is, if you're more selective, you're probably making, depending on market, between $2 and $8 more per hour, at least in the food delivery game, right?
100%.
So for me, I could take some $3 or $4 orders, and maybe the next order could be $12, hidden tip, fantastic. And I just made $18 this hour. Great. Well, no, I want to make $25 or $30 an hour. I'm not settling just because the order's there and it's convenient. No, we have to also understand that we got to stop enabling the consumer and the company, because the more ants that are taking these orders, the more times they're going to send them out and say that it's okay. I think with DoorDash eventually, when I started DoorDash, my base pay was $3, and it went to about $2.25 about 15 months ago. So my base pay on most of my orders is $2.25, unless it's been declined a lot, or unless it's crazy miles, or unless there's a peak pay, right? So I think eventually it's going to go down to $2, and it'll go to like probably $1.50 or so, because Uber actually has a lower base pay for food delivery than DoorDash. I see Uber sometimes they'll try to add an order. It'll be $1.50 for an add-on. $1.50. I've seen $1.50 a dozen times in the last 6 months. I mean, that's despicable, right? But at the end of the day, that's where it's going. Base pay is not going to go up. It's going to go down, because they understand there's enough new people that don't know any better, or enough people that think acceptance rate matters, and they don't. It doesn't.
So education of the driver is super important, and what you're doing at the end of July, I think will really enable that. Educate the drivers, man.
Yeah.
You know, you guys don't need to be slaves of the algorithms. You just kind of, there's a better way. That's why there is a difference between me as a rideshare driver and a newbie, and you, Pedro, as a delivery driver and a newbie. Yeah. You make, I'm pretty sure or certain, you make at least 30 to 50% more than that guy. And the reason is because you educated yourself and you learned the tricks of the trade, and we're working the same hours. You work 10 hours, make 18 bucks. I work 10 hours, I make 25. Yeah. 70 bucks more. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. It adds up though. You know, I think
of course it does.
Even if it's only a $5 swing. So I try to, and a lot of people on my comments tell me, dude, I was making 15 bucks an hour, now I'm making 20. So that's a huge difference. Even if you only work 5 hours a day, if you multiply that over the course of a month, that's a few $100s. So think about that, right? Yeah, so I try to tell people, like, you just got to know where to go, what time to start, what merchants to stay away from, which ones to, you know, how to find the hidden tips. You know, I teach people how to do that because it's the game that they play. It is what it is. And $5 difference an hour, that's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? So
that's big. That's huge. Yeah. I agree. Yep.
Well, going to like the promos and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is something that I just got actually, I mean, a couple of days ago, because it's actually already going on. So this is really the 4th of July promo.
This is for you, Chris?
Yeah. So this is 10 trips and 80 bucks. So $8 extra you're going to be making every single ride, which is great for those 10 rides. So this is on top of any other quests and promotions that are going on. And my area, pretty much since last year, I've been getting the two. So you get your weekday and your weekend. And on top of that, there's going to be surge this weekend because parties, everybody's going out. There's going to be less drivers on the road because of just people doing things with the holiday. So all in all, you know, this is going to be something where when I do the breakdowns after I'm done with, you know, the weekly promotion or the weekend promotion, this 10 trips for $80 and surge pricing, then I'll get, you know, this is going to be something where, again, Uber is going to lose money when I'm out on the road, but I'm going to make the money, and it's all planning out. So if you look at the thing on this, it said it started on 623 and it goes to 7.5. So if you would have started already doing this and done it, you know, you could make that extra 80 bucks or something, but why wouldn't I wait to see what the weekend promo for a busy weekend that's going to be, and then add surge on top of that? So that's again, you know, this is the pre-planning phase. So this is you seeing what I'm planning when it comes to how I'm going to go out on Friday and Saturday this week. And depending on how it is, I'll probably go out on Sunday, just, you know, to make some extra money, depending on how the weekend promo is. I'm still waiting for that. But once that comes in, I think it comes in tomorrow, right? Then, you know, but this is kind of the pre-planning. So Sergio, I'm sure you do something like this too.
If I got it, I haven't gotten anything yet. Probably they'll starve me this weekend. It's okay, no big deal. You know, Tyler, thank you for the super chat. He said,
thank you.
He said, I made 1,127 hours. Holy shit! What city are you in, buddy? I only drove when it was boost. Welcome to Show Me the Money Club. They showed you the money. You drove and you took their money, took them to the cleaners. That's lovely. Oh, I also have a Tesla. And $1 more and a 55-cent fuel surcharge. Tyler, welcome to the club, buddy. You're an honorary member, buddy. I make you an honorary member right now. Welcome to knighthood. I put the sword on your
shoulder. He says he's in Nashville, so that is a great area to do rideshare. All the bars.
Is the Tesla yours, by the way? Is the Tesla yours, or did you do one of those?
You can rent them, right?
Uber Hertz one, like hurts your ass, $500 a week worth. I'm like, no, let's not do that. But yeah, well, thanks again. 1,127 hours. What is that? That's like shit, $40 an hour.
Yeah, it's great. It's great money.
Yeah, that's double McDonald's flipping burgers, bro. Go for it. Screw that. Let's not complain. Let's keep doing it. Next one.
I want to. This is something that I want to talk about last week, because one of the big things that we were talking about last week was that whole thing where DK said for the driver who's driving 20 hours or more a week, how much are they averaging, Sergio? How much was that?
He said? 39. He said, okay, we talked about this, Pedro.
An hour.
He came on a Bloomberg interview and we like ridiculed him. He said, "Turn your app on, drive 20 plus hours, you make $39 an hour." I'm like,
hold on. He's saying that's the average?
yeah, that's the average. Yeah. He
That's
didn't specify city. He didn't specify time. He didn't specify state. He just said our driver PNLs are fantastic. They're swimming in money. And I'm like,
well, can you say driver shortage? He's just trying to get more people to come.
Yeah, I know, no, but I mean $39 an hour. I mean, really? In LA, maybe if I bust my ass with
no. Oh, but no, yeah. I'm not making $39 an hour in St. Louis.
You're definitely
not. Well, I mean, you could polish shit, but it's still shit.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's why I know Uber exec is going to come on the show, bro.
That's some good polishing. That's some damn good polishing right there.
Here's something, and for anybody in the chat watching, there's 140 people watching now, so that's awesome. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you.
Yes, Ernest Claus says, but yes, and smash that like button. But if you've seen this in your market, this I've never seen right here. So this is an hourly guarantee. This was yesterday that they had this. So this is just basically in the market of Buffalo. This is like half of the city of Buffalo downtown and then the south towns. This isn't including some of the others, but you're getting an hourly guarantee.
Okay.
And it's $16 they're guaranteeing you an hour. Where'd that $39 on average go?
I have no idea.
Right. So are they saying they'll pay you 16 and you
in case you don't make 16?
Right, but so you get 16 as long as you do one trip per hour. So you get the 16 plus whatever that one trip is, right?
Yeah. So you do one minimum fare and then sit and collect 16. How about that?
Yeah, that's trash.
But look at the other two requirements on this. You have to complete 75% of the trips received. So that means you got to complete them, and then you have to accept 75% that you're offered.
The accept is where the accept is the issue there.
Well,
so
if they offered you one and you accept one, you're at 100%, and you shut it down, and that's it. They give you $16.
Beyond that, I'm not sure if that would be where you'd have to be online for the full hour in order to get that.
They'll ping you with some shit right at the end and drop you.
It'll be prorated to where it winds up being $12 or something like that.
Okay, this hey, I don't know. Who
we got. Hold on, guys. Harry Campbell's in the chat. So
is he?
He's here. He's looking. He's lurking.
Oh,
Harry. Yeah, Harry. Nice to see you, Harry. Is Uber exec coming on the show, Harry?
But here's the thing: if anyone has actually seen this promotion in your area, let me know, because I have not seen it. Everybody I've talked to hasn't seen it yet. But this is kind of interesting when it comes down to it. Nonetheless, but again, to me, I don't think it's worth it because it's just kind of one of those things where they're just trying to get you to accept and then complete trips. Yeah, because my acceptance rate is not 75%, nor will it never be.
Never will be.
No way. I think mine with Uber is my acceptance rate right now with Uber is I think it's like 11, something like that.
Congrats.
I think you beat me. Mine's 27% right now.
Yeah, it's 9%. I'm sorry, 9% acceptance and 11% cancellation.
That's interesting.
Nice.
So yeah.
You're still active? Holy crap! I'm just
yeah.
But then going on. Here's promo of the week, everybody. This is a funny little screenshot. So 30 rides or $30 for 60 trips. This is somebody who speaks Spanish. So yes, they got a promotion. If you give 60 trips, you'll make $30 extra.
Trash.
Trash is trash. This is not cash is trash. This is just trash.
That's trash.
Yep. But here is a really good promo that we know. So Sergio, if you want to take this one.
Yes, sir. So my honorary chairman of the Show Me the Money Club, Gabe in San Francisco. We showed his numbers last week where Lyft lost a couple $100 on him. He took him to the cleaners, and then Lyft did not quit. So they sent him another promo. Basically, he had to do, 120 rides, get an extra $550. So Gabe has a Tesla, San Francisco. He targets shorty after shorty. Last time he drove and took one of these on, He drove 248 miles, made $1,100, and did 81 trips, $5 a mile with a Tesla. He killed it, and he sent me his screenshots, which we put up last week. Lyft lost in all $200 on him. So this week they sent him this one, and he's just about to finish. As you guys can see on the left screenshot, it says 19 out of 24. He knocked those 5 out. He got the 553. Plus, he got a 3-4-18 streak all over the place. I can tell you how much he made. He made close to $1,700 and only drove 400 miles.
Wow.
So he killed it. And Lyft, I don't know what. He must be the chosen end. They sent him a new one this week. They said $606 in bonus. I'm like, hey, Lyft, bro. Come on, bro. Share the love, man.
They're buying his loyalty. They're buying his
doing
loyalty.
whatever they're he's
that works for him though. Yeah.
He's costing him so much money though.
No, here's the thing. I wonder, maybe he's got a Tesla. Maybe we should get Teslas. Harry, what do you think?
No, you know what? There is a conspiracy, by the way. There's a conspiracy going on out there, by the way, that there's Uber just announced yesterday that there's 15,000 Teslas on the platform through the Hertz program. So drivers are going for this thing, hook, line, and sinker. And there is a conspiracy that all those Teslas the algorithms are set up to give Teslas all those good rides. It could be true, could be not true. I don't know. But that's the word on the street. They're saying all those Teslas, they're killing it out there. Maybe it's time for me to go get a Tesla, Harry, and try this shit out for a week.
Joe, another contributor on the channel, he's got a Uber Green vehicle. It's not a Tesla, but he's been doing pretty good too when it comes down to it on his earnings.
Well, I know there's a driver. He has a channel. It's called The Driven Dad, and he rents a Tesla, and he does well. I mean, he shared things with me, and he does really, really, really good. And I know he does a Tesla as well. I think he's in Colorado. I can't remember what state he's in, but he does really good. So
I mean, there is a way to fix those algorithms to feed you good rides, bro. Let me tell you that. So, but $500 a week for a Tesla is a lot. You have to make a lot. You have to drive a lot of hours to just pay for the car.
I mean, that's somebody that's working a minimum of 6 days, probably every day, working 8 to 10 hours a day. Hours, and they're they could justify it by that, and then maybe they have a car they don't want to put mileage on. So there's other factors there. So
I agree. Yeah.
What up, Jerry? What up, Jerry?
Jerry, Pedro sent you. Okay.
We got a lot of good people over there on my channel, just like you guys have here. So I'd love to see them come and show us some love and support.
Should we finish with one more mention of the? First of all, let's do it for Pedro. Pedro, give us a couple of minutes on your gig conference coming up, what it is about, what we're doing. And Harry, am I going? What's happening, Harry? Are you still here?
So
Harry, we'll talk. I'm wearing the shirt, Harry. Look at the shirt, bro.
And a hat.
And a hat. I mean, I'm not disloyal to Uber, bro.
I love it.
For God's sakes, man.
So real quick, shout out to the Driven Dad. He's in here. He says he rents his Tesla from Uber, not from Uber, a local guy. So he might have a different. But I know he does really well. So shout out to the Driven Dad, Tony. So gig conference.
Tony, you get a lot of tips, I'm sure. Go ahead.
I'm sure he does. July 30th, it's the first inaugural gig conference in St. Louis, Missouri. Free event for anybody that wants to come, whether you're Rideshare, food delivery, doesn't matter. Even if you haven't started working the apps yet, but you want to come and get some information and connect with people that have been doing this for a while, come check it out. Free event. Brought to you by Buckle, Solo, Para, Harry, the Rideshare Guy. We're going to have live entertainment, free food, beverages. From this past Sunday, from 2 weeks till then, so basically another 12 days. If you make a RSVP right now, the way our website works is I'll be able to track that. Any new RSVP coming in that 2 week span, we will cover your gas costs to get to the event and your hotel stay for 1 or 2 nights. So that's a way we're going to do a sweepstakes in a couple of weeks. I'll announce that winner. Like I said, it's a free event. It's a way for us to connect. It's never been done before. This is the inaugural one, and we plan on doing this every year, different city every year. It's going to be a great event. Swag bags for everybody that makes an RSVP that shows up is going to get free swag. All kinds of good swag, not bad swag, like good stuff. We're doing some massive giveaways. We'll be giving away gas cards, giving away some cash. I got t-shirt giveaways. We'll have 100 shirts to give away that day. So just a really fun time. So you'll be able to get some free stuff, some free information, connect with fellow drivers, and check it out. Just check out the website, do some looking around. My buddy Sam did a great job of putting this site together. And if you're interested, we will also, what I didn't say earlier is the whole event will be live streamed. So if you can't make it in person, it will be on YouTube. So you could watch it that way as well. So
super. So what time is it at? It's 2 p.m., right? That's what I saw.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Central.
local.
At 2 p.m. local, so that's Central Time. It'll probably go till 8 or 8:30. We have some great guests. Nugs, he's a huge DoorDash content creator. Hannibal, Slavic, Kayla, Steve from Rideshare Rodeo, Gary from Middleton Technologies, Dashing Grandpa, Gig Lebowski, a gentleman named Yost Malone, Bud Soda. A lot of people that have channels will be there as well. So.
How many of these people actually drive or deliver like you and I?
All of them. All of them.
Really? Do
Yeah.
they really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. All these people are content creators. They all drive. They work the gig apps. Some more than others, but they're all active. Yeah.
Cool. And last question: how far is this park from the airport?
Great question. Good thing about St. Louis, everything's real. Our traffic here is non-existent. Our highways are great. So from the airport, you're talking 30 minutes tops, maybe 25. Yeah.
And then any good hotels around this park?
Oh yeah. We have some. So about another 15 minutes from this park, if you go to what's a place in St. Louis called South County, that's more county. You could get some good hotels there, or you could stay downtown. Great hotels downtown. Downtown will be more money, but a little nicer hotels, or you could just stay in the county or something. You could save a little money, but still have a nice hotel.
Are you listening, Harry? Maybe, the Four Seasons. Harry, did you hear that? We Zoom. Yeah, Four Seasons. That's not happening. We Zoom.
We do have the Four Seasons is connected to the casino downtown. It's a really nice hotel. Great restaurant down there too.
There's a Motel 3.5 that you'll get.
Is that the budget we have? Motel 6 or Motel 3? Motel 3.
Well, you know what? I got some Motel 1s in St. Louis. So if you could probably spend about $50 if we wanted to really come. So yeah.
$50 a night? That's Harry.
Oh yeah.
That's not happening. I ain't catching a disease there, Harry. That's just not coming.
So yeah.
All right. So this is awesome. I think it's gonna be a great success, and I'm gonna try to make it. If not, I'm telling you, bro, I think it's an amazing idea. I wish you do nothing but the best.
Thank you very much.
And
if I wasn't going on vacation, leaving that day, I would definitely be.
We could have done a live from there, bro.
The same week.
Oh, that would be awesome if you.
We could have done a live stream from there, bro.
That would have been crazy.
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh, okay. Cancel the vacation, man. Come on.
This is something I'm looking forward to with the kids. So
you can't cancel that.
I'm messing with you.
Next year, absolutely make it like not that week because I go every week the same.
Yeah, it's a different city. Different
city. Yeah, I got
maybe
big plans.
LA next year, baby. Yeah. Maybe LA. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, at the end of the day, the last thing I'll say about this conference is it's we're gig workers, right? Whether you're rideshare, food delivery, maybe you do shopping, whatever it is, right? But at the end of the day, this conference will continue to grow. And my message on my channel is I talk about betting on you, setting goals, and doing it one day at a time. And I think the gig apps are a fantastic way to do that. So it's also a way to bring people together that have that mindset. Or if you don't have it yet, you get a little motivation from people that do have it and have been living it. And you see it on YouTube or you see it on a podcast or an article you read that Sergio writes, So it's about bringing people together and then allowing them to leave this conference with a little motivation as well. So that's my hope for it in the future.
Perfect segue to our town hall meeting for July 12th and July 19th. July 12th, big cities, New York. We're looking for drivers from New York, DC, Atlanta, Dallas, maybe. We have some people in San Francisco and LA. 5-6 drivers. Please email me. The email is right on the bottom of the screenshot, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. That's what we're actually trying to do on a live stream, just like Pedro is doing. We want to do this every couple of months to get the flavor of the country, what's happening in big cities. And then on the 19th, we're going to repeat it for the small cities. I think I have that set up, but I need backups anyway. Please, if you have any interest, email me, and you don't have to show your face. You can just participate and your voice will be on. But showing your face, Uber knows who you are. I don't think it matters. But if you're not comfortable being on camera, I understand. But I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your opinions about what's happening. And just like, again, Pedro said, a lot of people are negative in this. If you read social media, 99.9%, even on our RSG YouTube channel, comments, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you go. I mean, 1 out of 10 is positive. Maybe 1 out of 100 is positive. Everybody's negative. Why are you people doing it then? If it's so bad, do you guys have all Stockholm syndrome? What's wrong with you people? Don't do it then. But you're doing it. There's 3 million of us doing it.
You're there's a reason. They're uncomfortably comfortable.
Yeah, I call it. I'm getting T-shirts printed. It's called this is for married people. It's miserably comfortable or comfortably miserable, one or the other.
Yep.
Hey Sergio, if you want to send me that, I can share it on a post or something. I know I have a lot of people on my channel that do rideshare as well, so you might be able to.
This one.
Yeah, I can definitely share that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Please email me. And last but not least, Chris is giving up another camera.
For those who stuck around, when it came to the Nextbase dash cam giveaway winner. Again, it's Andy N. So appreciate that. Awesome work. You know, what a 29% tip percentage. So congratulations. The email will be going out to you just after the show ends. If you haven't already emailed us 24 hours when it comes to response.
23 hours now.
23, yeah.
And with that being said, we have another Nextbase dash camera to give away.
Oh my God.
And this one is going to be this one is going to be a little bit different. So this one,
my God, Chris, what is this?
This is the next giveaway. This is the criteria to win.
Are these the rules?
Highest earnings per hour. Nice.
Holy shit. No, 5 hours is not enough, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, minimum 5 hours. Yeah, it will. Because
I'm going to win this thing, I guarantee you that. I drive 4th of July weekend. I'm taking this goddamn camera. I guarantee you that.
I think I might have to turn my app on that day. I don't know.
Let's go, buddy.
I might challenge you for that. I'll challenge you. I'll be on this weekend, and we'll see. We'll have our own little
there's my
competition between us.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Moik is complimenting me for not cursing today.
Oh, no,
thank you, sir.
No,
I curse, but very little, like very sparingly and very properly.
too.
And I curse when you were not watching. So for you, that means I didn't. So because there was this gentleman who was pissed that I was cursing, which I'm very passionate when it comes to this thing. Once in a while, you have to let it fly. You know what I mean?
Well, they say intelligent people curse.
Pedro, Harry, I'm definitely going to the goddamn thing now, to the conference. There you go. We're all gonna get drunk that night,
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think maybe next year we should do Nashville. I haven't been there yet.
That's not a bad, man. You know what? And Nashville's not too far for me. I think it's maybe like 5 hours for me, maybe 4.5. That might not be a bad idea. Don't give me any ideas, Chris, man. I'll run with that.
Nashville.
Especially some of the food, the music. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to the rules for this one. So let's get to the rules of this one. It's going to be from Friday through Monday, so July 1st through the 4th. So it's all weekend long, and it's a minimum of 5 hours on app. Because people who are just doing this part-time or whatever it is, if you need a dash camera, you need one. If you have people come in your car, you need a dash camera no matter what.
No.
Side note, Prime Day is also coming up July 13th and 14th. There's usually good deals on cameras. So that's one thing I'm going to make a recommendation for. But yes, we're making it easier for people to be able to get just in case they do need it. That is the biggest thing that we want to help somebody who really needs a dash camera. But that being said, 5 hours minimum. You send your daily earnings screenshots to Sergio. So it's going to be 4 screenshots, emails right there. Only from those eligible days. Don't try and screw it around. It's going to be the daily breakdowns. So 4 screenshots in one email, please, just to keep track. So it's a lot easier. So July 4th or 5th or whenever you're done with that, that's when you can start emailing Sergio. You can include everything. So promotion, surge, quests, bonuses, tips, all in app. It needs to be in app. It can't be cash because I could just pull out, $200 and say, oh, look, I made.
But wait, July 1st through 4th. So the quest for Uber is like on Sunday, right? So 4th is not included because 4th starts the new week.
Yes,
Uber's
but it's
calendar.
still July 4th. So these are the days that you can go out if you're going out
through Monday.
Yep.
So they're going to send me individual days. There's more spreadsheet work for me. Thank you, Chris.
It's just 4 screenshots. If you need help, send them my way too.
Yeah, I will. So, okay.
then
And one question was, how about this? Driven Dead says, can I do Lyft Lux and participate? Can he? I guess so. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, go for it.
Bring it on, baby.
Your driver. Essentially, what we want to do is see who's got the highest earnings per hour for the July 4th weekend. There's
Or online hour.
Who are going to be making, yes, and it's online hour that we're using. We're not using active hours. We're using online. This is a fun little test because everybody who does get back to us and sends us your screenshots, we're going to know the hourly breakdown of what's going on. So we'll be able to compare if the average is actually $39 an hour or something a lot less.
4th of July better be 39, bro. If you're thinking that's not 39 on 4th of July, don't even go. I mean, seriously.
So essentially what we're going to do is we need to see the daily earnings for each day and the total online time. Cool. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to divide total earnings by the earnings, by the online time to see who's got the highest per hour. Whoever's going to win, you're not a member of the Show Me the Money Club, and you will win the next Space Dash camera. So good luck to everybody out there. And Sergio will have to show our numbers too as a little competition. What do you want to bet on? We should make a little bet.
Bullshit. Hold on, Mike. See, he's forcing me to curse, Mike. Let me tell you something. With your quadruple stacked bonus structure, bro, when Uber sends me peanuts, I'm not doing it. Well, you know what? I don't know. We should bet.
Yeah, but there's only 1.1 million in the greater Buffalo area, in the Buffalo Niagara Falls metropolitan area.
Bro, I know my man. Uber is paying you $10 before you have a passenger in the car. What are you talking about? It's like, what? I mean, what world are we talking here? I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait until tomorrow, and then I'll email you about if we're competing or not. How about that?
Okay, yeah. So with that being said, the winner will be announced on our next live, which will be July 12th. And that is also the same time of our town hall meeting, the first one with the large city people who are working, these apps. So in large markets, we are not going to be streaming next week only because July 4th weekend, and I have a family event going on, so kind of got to do that.
So let's thank Pedro. Pedro, thank you so much for showing up.
Gentlemen, I appreciate coming on.
Awesome, bro.
It was a great time, and appreciate you guys allowing me to talk about the conference. I learned some things today, so it was a great time. So
I love your channel.
We'll have to have you back on soon.
Yeah, I think your channel is one of the ones I watch, really, just for the fact that you're call it the way you see it, and keep up the good work, buddy.
I appreciate that, Sergio. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming
on.
Hope
to see you, Harry. Harry, we have to talk. We got to go to St. Louis, Harry.
Do it, Harry. Do it.
Do it, Harry. Show some.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back on afterwards to see how it went.
Absolutely, yes.
Any extra tidbits, info, and stuff like that we could pass along, help people who are driving both rideshare food delivery, package, all the good stuff now, even tasks and stuff like that, because those are kind of coming, like TaskRabbit and a couple other ones. It's expanding so much. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. So awesome. And again, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
And everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Good luck on the dash camera. Hit up Sergio if you want to be interested in taking part of our town hall meeting. And also, I don't know, there's one last thing, but it's all good. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that like button.
Hit the like. Yeah, smash the like.
That's right.
All right, have a good 4th, everyone.
Take care now.